Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 42 podcast. I hope you didn't miss us too much on our week off, but we are back from the restaurant at the end of the universe to talk about the failings of the late great human race. And as always, to my left, your good friend and mine, Mr. Ryan.
That's me.
I guess it is, yeah. I guess it's to the right of the screen.
How are you?
Anyway, I'm good. How are you doing? Enjoy your week off last weekend?
Actually, I did a lot.
Do anything fun or just...
No,
just didn't do shit?
Actually, my dad had his birthday party and he turned like some big number. I don't know what it was. I should turn that off. My apologies. But it was a good time. He fried shrimp and made hamburgers and hot dogs.
Nice. That sounds good.
And I don't know what it is about men when they make it into like they're like close to like 50, 50 to like 60. Mm-hmm. They just can fucking burn meat like badasses. Like it's just apparently like you get this like, from 45 on you can just barbecue like a boss.
Well, they've been doing it for a while, It's one thing.
Is that what it is?
That's one of the things like I am not great. Like I can grill okay, but I don't do it enough to like really be proficient at it, which is probably a failing as me as a man or something. I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever grilled by myself intentionally. Like I think I'm gonna burn some steak. I've never done that.
But yeah, we went to Gen Con last weekend, which was a lot of fun. It's a lot more low key than Comic Con is, I guess, like San Diego Comic Con. But if you want to play games. Magic, D&D, Pathfinder, board games, you can play 24/7 for the entire weekend. Like, they never close down the gaming hall. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but at one point they had like 15,000 people playing Magic. It was nuts.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah, there's like
tons of people.
100,000 people there, I think.
Wow, but that's a big number.
It is a big number, but since they had the convention floor and the gaming floor, it's the people are spread out, so you're not nearly as cramped as you are because you'll have like 10,000 people just playing D&D all day and whatever. So
that's insane. That sounds fun though.
Yeah,
it
was a lot of fun. There's some pretty good cosplay.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Any cool cosplay?
Yeah, it was obviously much more like fantasy gaming related since it's that kind of con, but still some pretty good ones. Some good Harley Quinns, which I'm guessing we're going to be seeing a lot more now that the movie's coming out next year. Or is it this year?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no. Just saying.
She's a hot, bad guy.
Yeah, she's crazy.
She's more of that cute, high school punk, cheerleader kind of style than she is, the 40-year-old, succubus, style of villain. You know what I mean? Like, they normally have, the girl villain be, 35, a little older and more mature and kind of...
just
wiser
wrecking dudes.
Yeah, but this one, she's 20 and got pigtails in her hair and wears mini skirts and shoots Uzis.
Yeah,
that's kind of hot.
Yeah, I don't know. I know a little bit about the Harley Quinn that they built in the comics from the animated series, and I don't know how much that's going to play in because originally in the comics she is Joker's therapist at Arkham, and he corrupts her, and that's why she it's full on hardcore Stockholm syndrome kind of thing with her and him. She's so fascinated by his evilness that she just becomes evil herself to be with him.
Have we talked about it before? But that whole argument about how the Joker was the actual hero of the Dark Knight.
No, I haven't heard that one.
You never heard that he's actually the Dark Knight? It's not Batman's not the Dark Knight. It's actually the Joker.
Okay.
He's the one who achieves everything that was essentially Batman's goal, overall arcing goal in the movie. Batman's trying to take down the mob, but Batman can't do the few things that need to be done to get it taken care of. And Joker is proving to Batman that you can't do it Batman's way. that you have to be willing to. It has to be full crazy, right? And what the Joker does is he burns all of their money. He takes their bank down. He kills them. He gets a lot of. He breaks the whole mob ring up, and he gets them all killed. Like he was actually the one who saves Gotham.
Right. That makes
He's
sense.
the one who breaks up the mob.
I can see that.
Yeah, he was the Dark Knight. It's cool. I mean, I'm not doing the article justice. You know how they are. Some asshole goes through and reads, writes an article. It's all detailed perfectly with like flow charts and graphs and shit. It's like, oh yeah,
Someone spent way too much time.
You convinced me wholeheartedly. I think with this type of technique, I could believe anything you say.
Yeah. Did you ever see the Pixar theory about how they're all in one universe? Like every movie in Pixar is in the same universe.
Yeah, and they try to tie in how Cars is in the future after Wall-E, where the robots have become sentient, and yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Someone spent way too much time.
It works. They're really trying hard though. It felt like a stretch, some of it.
Well, I think for a lot of these papers, they're like, dissertations and master's thesis for like anthropology classes. So they study
What?
like you could do it as an anthropology study of how pop culture fits into other culture and how those things interact with each other.
Oh,
So
no wonder they're so detailed and
yeah, good.
whatever.
Oh man, the International 5 finals was yesterday. So
It was
sick.
epic, huh?
Oh yeah, EG.
So I was watching it,
Okay.
and I have an issue. Like, the reason it won't ever take over as like football
Uh-huh.
is it's way too complicated to understand. It's like, what is a Duragmoroth? What is the Shigon? Like, there's all these things. Like, oh, if they pick up the Shigon, everybody's gonna get. It's like, what is that? I know it's an item, and I know he's buying it, but it's too based on you already knowing what the fuck they're talking about.
See, I wish you had texted me because they actually have a separate new person stream. It's like dedicated just to new people who want to learn what's going on.
Oh.
So they have that. Maybe I bet you I could
They need to
find
send it-
that YouTube and send it to you.
I think they need to recognize them. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I tried to watch it. It was, I mean, everybody cheered, so I knew shit was happening. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's dying. And then the announcer's yelling, he's got the Zeus. What is everybody gonna do? No one's ever gone with the Zeus. And I'm like, what are they? I don't know what he's talking about. I'm so confused.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. EG won, so go USA. Like first time an American team has won the international, and one of the few times an American team has won a major LAN in general. So they're going home with 6.6 million for the team, 1.34 per player. So it is pretty.
Okay, money.
That's okay money. I mean, granted, they do have to give some of them to the team. I think the team takes like 10%, but still, it's good money.
What was the overall purse? Like 18 million?
18, yeah.
We were trying to guess last. What was our guesses?
I was thinking it was going to hit 20. But
All right, okay. It was close. It was like 18.7 or something, or 18.2 or something.
yeah, but what I was expecting them to do is because they have all these goals for the compendium. Like, okay, if we hit $15 million, we're going to give everybody this. If we hit $14 million, we're going to give everybody this. And I was really expecting them because their last stretch goal was 15 million. I was really expecting them to roll out another $5 million worth of stretch goals. And if they had them, they probably would have hit the 20, but they didn't. So they just kind of ticked up from the 15. So.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Right.
I got a lot. I got a ton of new sets the last couple of months. So many new sets and other things that are gonna be cool. And I got this really awesome Dead Mouse pack. There's this like nice Dead Mouse soundtrack while you're playing the game and stuff. It's really cool.
Okay. That is cool.
Yeah, it's really well done, so it's not overpowering. So like you really only hear it like during the fight. So if the fights are getting epic, it gets a little bit louder and gets the blood pumping a little bit more. It's a really good pack. You did a really good job.
As far as the Dead Mouse show went last night, It kind of sucked.
Eh.
He wasn't nearly as like epic and entertaining as I expected. I was like, where's the LEDs? Where's the drops? Like the music was even kind of like dum 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 dum. It's like, come on, where's the beat?
Yeah, maybe he just made a bad, playlist decision.
Where's the beat at? We need somebody to.
Yeah, I really would have. I only watched a little bit of it because
Me too, because it sucks.
I was watching because there's a couple people from my Dota team. We were watching it all together on TeamSpeak. I was like, "Hey, y'all guys want to play some Dota?" They're like, "Yeah, let's play some Dota." It's kind of like watching like skate videos back in the day. Like you watch it, and then all you want to do is go skate, and you end up hurting yourself because you're trying to do things you're not ready to try and do yet.
I remember that feeling.
Oh, speaking of Dota things, sort of big news for the network. A friend of mine, he's going to start doing Dota analysis blog on www.f2en.com for us, and he's already been like casting matches and stuff, so he's going to be uploading that. So if you like Dota and you like esports, you're going to have a little bit of a home here at 42, besides as much as we talk about it here. But yeah, you're going to have your own dedicated blog and stuff. And I don't know if
Awesome.
I don't know if he's going to do his own podcast or not. I don't think so, but you'll have some extra content on the website, which needs it terribly. Because right now all it is like the files for the podcast.
Whatever.
Whatever.
So those people will be like, I was there when.
I was there when, that's right. I remember when this was a shithole website.
At least it's a good-looking shithole website.
It is a good look. That's the thing I like about Squarespace. It's easy to make things look decent, and it's a pretty easy thing to work with.
It does look pretty good, though. Even for being as simple as it is.
Well, that's what I like.
We were
about
talking about websites and stuff for like gaming. Have you seen this thing where in Counter-Strike you have those skins that go on the guns?
it. Yeah.
And they're exceedingly rare. They're kind of like hats in Team Fortress or whatever.
Mhm.
So like a case will drop in a game, and then you can buy a key, and then you can unlock that case to get a chance to get a ultra rare skin on on a cool gun that's popular or whatever. Well, some of those can be worth $2,000.
Oh
Right?
wow.
Yeah, some of those skins can be worth a lot. Well, there's a website called like skinbets.com or some shit.
I've heard about these kind of websites where people are like betting shit.
Okay, but it's the weirdest style of betting I've ever seen. So the more money you put into the pot, it's like a raffle ticket system. So the more you put into the pot, the higher your percentage is to win.
Interesting.
And then it does a randomly generated like number, and if you have like that number inside of that percentage, I don't know exactly how it works, you win, right? So I was watching a guy on Twitch. There's a guy named Summit,
I've heard.
and
of Summit.
he has 8,000 subscribers.
It's not bad.
He gets $2.50 a month per subscriber.
Jesus, I didn't realize it was that good on Twitch.
Yeah, well, it's $5 a month to subscribe to somebody. Twitch gets half.
Oh, so he does that. Okay, he does a paid subscribers. Okay.
Yes, yeah, he has 8,000 paid subscribers, not followers, 8,000 paid subscribers.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right, and that doesn't include his inventory or his revenue from
Like advertising and shit.
right, and sponsors. But anyway, he was doing that skins website,
Uh-huh.
and Summit's a big Counter-Strike player, right? So he's got $10,000-$15,000 worth of skins. He's watching the games go by, right? And most people are putting in like a $10 skin, a $20 skin, and then somebody will put in like $40 worth of skins, and the whole pot might be worth like $600. He's watching, and this pot's worth like $700, and a guy puts in $3,500, trying to like guarantee himself a win. So Summit quickly jumps in and just starts clicking skins, right? Puts in like $5,000, like $4,700 worth of skins, and pushes submit. the guy that he pushes submits against, right? You know, so now the pot's worth like $8,000. The
Right.
guy jumps in and puts another $2,000 in. So now the guy's like at 51. It's like a 49% favor, and like Summit has like the 51%. Like he's barely a favorite. He loses.
Oh,
He loses like $5,000 worth of skins. It was so devastating.
I just can't do that, man. You can't let your hubris get the best of you like that. And if you're gonna do it, you might as well dump them all in there to guarantee yourself the win. You know,
You just all in, right? You put your whole
like
15
grand in there and have. Green, you can still lose, but still.
Yeah, I like that style though, where you can also throw in like $5 and just buy a ticket. It's like, I could get like it's worth it. You know, there's got to be a math in there where it's worth. Which way is it worth?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'd have to look at, it, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely probably worth it. You know, if you can win 1 in 1,000 and the prize pools are always over 1,000, it's worth the money. You know?
Right. It was fun. It was crazy to watch. And then I was watching that like one of the most popular like Twitch guys, Soda Poppin', and he was playing blackjack.
Just like,
And I don't know how he's playing blackjack, right? But he's logged in, and what he sees is a real life person in a room, standing like the dealer in front of a table. Okay.
Okay.
And then he like has a spot, but it's like a digital spot, right, on the table. And then the dealer like says, okay, you know, no more bets. Everybody places their bets. And I guess there's some type of screen keeping track, right? Or some other person that's off screen. And then he reaches and grabs the card, and they're giant, like 6-inch by 4-inch cards. And he lays them out, and he deals everybody in blackjack, and then he deals himself like normal. And then he waits for everybody to bet over the internet. And then the guy, you know, does the whole blackjack thing and, you know, flips the cards over. But you can interact with the dealer through chat. So you can put in like, you know, text chat, and then the dealer talks back and forth. It's awesomely entertaining to watch people lose thousands of dollars. It is hilarious. Because he's actually one of those blackjack players who's obviously has a little bit of money, and he's young and he's kind of wasting it. So he's been playing blackjack a lot. And he knows the percentages. He knows when to double down and when to split and when to hit and when to stay. But he gets in those positions where he's like, well, it's a 48-50. Fuck it, we're gonna hit. We're just gonna hit here. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna see what happens, right? And then he hits it, or no, he doubles down or whatever, right? He doubles down to like a 12, and he gets like a 2, and he's like, "You bash!" And he's just yelling at it, "Fuck you!" But the dealer doesn't see him or hear him unless he chats something. So she'll be like, "Have a good day," or you know, like, "Oh, so sorry," and he's like, "Fuck you!" You know, it's like this. It's hilarious. It's fun.
Yeah.
So if you're ever on Twitch and you see like blackjack near the top, click on that one.
I had a friend in this week, and so we went out to the casino and played some poker. I did okay in the well, I played one poker tournament. I lasted 9 hands. That was fun.
Ooh, that's not fun.
Like I got it in. I had top pair with so I had like ace jack, and the flop was ace 4-6 with 2 hearts, and I had ace jack of hearts. So we get it all in. The guy turns over bottom 2 and it holds up. It's like, well, not a lot I can do there.
Yeah,
But you know,
yeah.
I learned.
It depends on how the betting went, whether you had to get all in or not, whether you had to risk your tournament life on it.
Yeah, it was the right decision. Like I was a slight favorite. I was like a 51% favorite, even with this 2 pair, because I had the overcards and the flush draw and everything else. But
fuck it, I'm all in then. Just fuck it.
Well, it was one of those.
If it works out, man, you're set though, right?
Right. I was like, I went raise and he re-raised, and I came over the top and he shoved, and at that point I got like 1,000 chips left. So I was like, well, I got a call now.
Go. Let's see. Yep.
But I learned to play Pai Gal, which is a table game. That is so much fun. Like it's
How does that work?
So you get dealt 7 cards, and you
wait, not to interrupt you, but like normal cards?
Yeah, normal, just like but you know,
how many players?
You can be up to 6, but you're only against the dealer. So it's kind of like blackjack. We're only playing against the dealer.
With 7 cards though.
With 7 cards, but what you do is you make a 2-card hand and a 5-card hand. So like pair aces is a really good 2-card
card hand, right?
And
that would be the best, right?
Right, for the front, but your
Does a
back.
king 10 count as like a jack 10 count as like a straight on 2 cards?
No, it's just like just Jack 10. It's kind
So
of like
it's either high card or
or
a pair.
Yeah, in the front. So like almost any ace in the front is pretty good. Like if you got
Really
like
good,
ace 10, yeah. And in the back you do just a normal 5-card poker hand. But the rule is you have to have your weakest hand in the front and your strongest hand in the back. So if you have like a pair of aces in the front, you can't have a pair of kings in the back. You have to have the pair of kings in the front and the aces in the back. Make sense? The hand in the
Right,
back
okay.
would have to beat the hand in the front.
I was just slightly confused. The 2 cards are always in the front though.
Right, they're always in the
You
front.
don't reverse the roll of the 2 and the 5.
Right. Right. The
Okay.
2 cards are always in the front.
Yeah. I get it then.
And so you know it's also like blackjack where you put your bet down first.
Complicated, huh?
Not really. Like once you get the hang of it, it's not bad.
Okay.
And to win, you have to beat the dealers, both of the dealers' hands to win the bet. But to lose, you have to lose both of yours. So you end up pushing a lot because you'll end up splitting.
Just push.
But so it's one of those games like it's really fun to just sit down and if you were to like a $5 table with $100, you could probably play for 8 hours if you wanted to.
Right, just sit there and kind of drink and talk shit and play.
Yeah. It's slower, so it's not like blackjack. Have you ever played blackjack at a casino?
I played with you.
That's right. We did. Like
Everybody kept getting mad at us, and we had no idea what was really going on.
That's
and the
right,
dealer kept
yeah.
making fun of us, and we just kind of left, dejected.
It's just like blackjack just goes so fast.
I know, and we lost like $150 in like 7 minutes. I was like, "Fuck this game, man!"
But yeah, I got to also they actually have like real craps here, so I got to shoot some dice, and that was fun.
Craps, man. That's the game.
If I'm gonna go gamble, just like straight gamble, I'm gonna go go shoot some craps, man. I love it. It's so much fun.
It's so much fun.
Especially you get like the old. This is gonna sound a little bad, but you get the old like black dudes, right? They're all like talking mess and shit.
Yeah,
The dealers, the dice are like, oh man, you should take those dice, you throw them through that fucking wall. Don't let anyone get away. Their hands are down there. You fucking hit them. They're hilarious.
They can talk some jive. They can talk some shit. That's fun. That's what is cool about dice, though. Is it's not meant to be calm and reserved.
No,
Like it's okay to like cheer. It's okay to It's okay to talk shit. It's okay to call out stuff. It's Daddy needs a new pair of shoes is not anything bad to say. It's okay. Like go with it.
Yeah.
Have chicks that you don't know blow on the dice like you're nuts. Just fuck it. Just It's a good game.
The thing I feel bad for is like the dealers who are running the game. Like they got people shouting at them all the time. They got to pay out all these bets, and the way they can keep up and as fast as they do is impressive. Watching those guys,
They got
like,
those little sticks, and they're all like flipping it over and shit, and knocking people's hands out of the way. Like, psh, don't touch that. I got it. And you're like, okay, hey, whoa,
whoa,
easy. Yeah. I just wish you could still smoke cigars in the casino. Just smoke a cigar and throw some fucking dice. It'd be kind of cool.
You probably can't hear, man. Everyone smokes here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't like.
Y'all
I
have
didn't.
casinos where you live?
Yeah, in Pittsburgh. Yeah, actually, not too far from here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I've been was this week. So
That's awesome.
yeah. I'm kind of at one of those points where like I don't play enough, especially poker, to where to really be sharp, and so I just go and I really don't have the extra money to just like straight up gamble right now. So I just kind of stay away.
Real, ain't it?
Do what?
The itch is real though. When you have those cards in your hand and you're sliding them and you're stacking the chips, there's like, oh yeah, I would like to do this.
Oh yeah,
there's that part of you that's like, I could be a degenerate. It's not that hard.
It's bad, especially when I'm playing poker, is like how quickly I fall back into my old, like the rhythms I used to have, chip shuffles, I'm just like always fidgeting with my chips and flips and like stacking, and I can still eyeball a stack of chips and be like $147, I can still do that.
Yeah, and I find myself sliding back into my habits of like triples and like triple betting and stuff, like just straight like things that I have to like. Why did you just? Oh yeah, that is something you're supposed to do. That's just a weird thing. It's like almost like a muscle memory.
It really is. It really is. And
Oh, I'm dealer. That means I'm in. That means like whatever I get dealt's like almost good. Like let's just see what happens. Like I'm gonna at least see the flop. That's like
way back in the way back when I used to play way too much poker.
way too much.
Oh, but yeah, good
So what was
time.
the
Go
what
ahead.
was the coolest thing you saw at the Comic Con?
Gen Con.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
Coolest thing I saw at Gen Con.
You got a cool book.
I did get a cool book. My friend bought me Armada, signed by Ernest Cline.
Did you finish that yet?
I'm working on it. I've been really dedicated. Like I'm like 3 or 4 hours in now, so I'm like I should finish it by the end of the week. So by next week's podcast, we can talk about it.
All right then. So everybody here's so next week might be a little spoiler alert on the Marta.
Yeah, so start reading. It's not a long book. It's like 12 hours on audio, so yeah, I'll be able to read through it pretty quick.
Not too bad.
Yeah, there was just all these just awesome exhibits, like because like we spent most of our day because we were only there for one day on the convention floor, like checking out the vendors, and so I had some really cool like entropy engines for dice, and like have you ever seen the dice towers?
No.
So some of them get really, really intricate, but there's these wood towers that you drop your dice in, and they bounce around, they roll for you. It's a way to keep them contained without having to actually roll them and stuff.
Oh, and then they fall, and then that's their numbers.
Right, and
Yeah.
there's a bed that they roll into, and there's some
Yeah.
of those that were really cool. But they were obviously like hand built and hand carved with all these like intricate designs and super pretty, but they were like $300.
Oh shit.
There was this
That is a great idea, really, though.
There was this one woman who was selling like real forged, swords. That like there was like she was selling one that was based off the ones from 300, the ones that are kind of short. There was like $900, $1,000, but they were like
Wow.
they were real steel and had been actually like beaten, like old school style. So yeah, that was
I
pretty.
wonder how well a sword like that actually held an edge.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that much about swords, to be honest.
I don't either, but I mean, in the movies, it seems like they cut through bone and don't even get dull.
Yeah,
Is that real?
they're probably one good fight. I mean, if they're really good, thick steel, and just really razor down, part of it's just the fucking weight of it all coming. So the
Yeah.
reason they're so heavy is just let
Just
the
kinda lob shit
momentum.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't need an edge with that. You just need it kind of rounded, and you're good to go.
right.
Uh, it was kind of cool because I didn't play any, but they had like a League of Legends and Dota lounge set up at Gen Con. So if you wanted to play some of that, you could. So that
Really?
was
Just like sit down at a pot, like at a computer?
yeah. So that was pretty cool.
That is very cool.
And of course, you got some of the con funk floating around, which is always fun. Because every once in a while, you'll just get behind somebody who's like, "Oh my god," like trying not to say anything. He's like, "Oh my god, this smells so bad. Oh god, it's bad." Especially at a con like that where you can literally be there all night. So some people don't have hotels; they're
Oh.
just sleeping in the corner of the room.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that.
Some people get bad. Like Comic Con, they shut it down, so the con smell isn't so bad. But there was a couple of people. Like we were standing in line to get our tickets, and whoever this dude was that we were standing behind, man, he was bad. Like, it was,
What is that?
they just don't shower, I guess.
Why, though? What's wrong with them?
I don't know. I don't get it. Like,
They're the ones who ruin it for us normal people.
yes, us normal nerds get ruined for the
Yeah.
like they
Take a
are.
goddamn shower, people.
They are the stereotype.
Yes. Neckbeard.
Neckbeard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, oh. Did I ever tell you about sitting next to the moose going to Comic Con my first year?
The moose.
This is what I nicknamed this guy. So we are, so we're flying from Tulsa to LAX and LAX to San Diego. So we are the first flight out of Tulsa like 7:05. We're getting into LAX like 8 a.m. because of the time difference. And for some reason, we have to sit on the tarmac for an hour when we get there. I have no idea why. And so they're
When
like,
you get there,
yeah, when we get there. So we're sitting at
so
LAX.
you've already made your flight, and now you're sitting here.
Yeah, well, we've already flown to LAX. We're sitting at LAX. It was really
That
weird.
sucks.
It was, and so me and my wife, we were supposed to sit together on the commuter jet to San Diego, but they were already like giving away our seats because we were so late. So it was one of those things where like we get to the terminal, the stewardess comes on, we need passengers Ingalls and so to come to the front. Please let them through. So we run across the tarmac. We don't even go in the airport. They take us across the tarmac to this other jet. Or it's actually a turboprop. We get up there, and so they're like, "Well, okay, you can sit there, and you can sit there." And there's this dude.
So you're all. I'm sorry. You were on like the runway,
Yeah, well, you know, like
like
the area in between the planes, like in
but
the
like in L.A., like the big giant airport.
Uh huh.
Like all kinds of shit's going on, and it's loud and crazy, and you're all like running, like something out of like a James Bond movie.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, not
That's
that bad, but
Oh well, come on, man! I'm trying to make it epic here.
so we get there, and my wife finds a seat by herself because there weren't two seats together anymore since they had sorry,
Right,
and
right,
I get sit by this guy who's got to be 450 pounds.
Ooh.
He's so fat, he keeps his 3DS in his neck fat. Like, he just sticks it there and leaves it. And this is a little turboprop, so these seats are really small. I can only sit on about half the seat because he's like coming over into the seat. I'm just like sitting there. Like, you need to buckle up, sir. And I'm like, I'm trying. I really am trying.
Ooh,
Yeah.
sorry.
But that flight from LAX to San Diego is gorgeous. It's about 45 minutes, and you end up being probably about half a mile out over the ocean. So either like depending on which side of the plane you're on, there's all this ocean to look at, or like the coastline of California. It was awesome. But
Yeah, back to the dude. What did he smell like?
he didn't smell bad yet. I'm sure he did by the end of the week. But
Ugh.
yeah, it was.
They should make people like that. I mean, not to be mean or whatever, but you should have to buy another seat.
Southwest makes people do it.
You should have to buy another seat. It's like you should be charged by the pound, like your luggage. I mean, if you really think about it, we're moving mass. That's what it is.
Right.
And you should be charged by the mass that you're wanting to be moved, like, you know, like freight or something. I'd be okay with that. Southwest should have like a freight flight.
Yeah, the one of these days I'm going to take like I'm not a big Amtrak person, but I'm going to take the Amtrak from Los Angeles to San Diego because it's right on the ocean. It's like a 2-hour trip, and just like sit back and drink a beer or two, and because it'll take you like right to the convention center. Like I don't even know if you have to change trains or maybe one
That
train.
would be cool.
You, like just pick it up in LAX and just go all the way to the convention center. I want to do that at some point. If I ever get to go back.
That
to
would be
Comic-Con.
cool.
Yeah.
I would be cool if they had like a lounge, like a cigar lounge car, so you could sit back and drink like a what do you call them? Manhattans or
Manhattans.
no, what do you drink?
I drink the old fashions.
Old fashions.
Mhm.
I saw this a little off subject, but I saw a little chart that had like, you know, kind of weak and fruity all the way down here in the right corner, and then like strong and like bitter or something like in the other left corner.
Uh-huh.
And the only one that was like anywhere near this far corner was an old fashioned. It was like it was like super strong and super like, you know, kind of not good tasting, you know.
Oh, it's not. At least the way I make it, it's pretty tasty. But I go a little overboard with the fruit.
Yeah, coming from the guy who drinks paint remover. Like they have you have a description for beer that's like enamel
The enamel
acid or something.
enamel ripper. Yeah. See, what I do is I just take I take a clementine, quarter it up, throw it in the glass, like 3 cherries, muddle the shit out of it, some sweet vermouth, and like 4 ounces of bourbon, and or depending on the day, 6 ounces of bourbon. Just depending on the day. If it's been one of those days, and yeah, you stir it up, and super good.
So what? 1 6-ounce and you're good?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's 6 shots worth of bourbon.
Right. So you're right where you kind of start to slur. Not really slurring, but you're just kind of getting that relaxed.
Yeah, by the end of it, I'm just like, let's just watch some TV now.
Yeah, I got another hour and I'm out.
Yeah, and the thing with, like, especially with, maybe it's because I started making old fashions with kind of shitty bourbon. That's why make them the way I do. But like, you can use kind of shitty bourbon and it'll taste okay. But like I just started using the sweet vermouth. I'd never heard of anyone doing it, and I ordered one at a restaurant, and she was like, "Yeah, I made a sweet vermouth instead of," because a lot of people use simple syrup, just like a dash
Okay.
of simple syrup to give some sweetness, and then you throw the bitters on top to give it just a little bit of a tart. So it's good. You get this nice, little fruity tart flavor with the bourbon. That's good.
Mm,
Just like, nom, 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 nom.
yeah. What were we talking about before the bourbon?
Trains.
Oh, right. Yeah, you know what I found was interesting is they sell like super luxury cars like across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not bad. They're like $1,200, which is a lot, but it's not bad. You know, it's for like 4 days or something that it takes to get from New York to LA or whatever.
On Amtrak, it takes 3 weeks to get from Boston to Portland.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this. It's like a luxury, like express kind of
Okay,
train
probably more like a week than 4 days.
maybe a week, whatever
Yeah.
it is. But you get your own you get your own private car.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have Wi-Fi. It's like, what the fuck? How does that not work? How can they not have Wi-Fi on the trains? They can have it on airplanes, but not on the trains.
I know Amtrak has a lot of Wi-Fi cars.
That would be cool. That'd be the way to do it.
Maybe there's just no Wi-Fi in the room. Maybe you gotta go to a specific car for the Wi-Fi.
Maybe. That wouldn't be too bad, I guess.
No,
I'd
especially
want it in my room, though.
that would be nice. I mean, yeah,
But I think that would be kind of a cool way to see the world, like,
By
or see the
train.
country.
Yeah.
Be a
I'd-
fun little
I'd
vacation.
do it. If I had the money, I'd definitely do it.
I also want to do a cruise, though.
That would be fun, and they're cheap. I mean,
Have you done one?
No, I haven't done one. My wife's done
Really?
a couple of them.
You seem like the kind of guy that would be on a cruise before.
Yeah, but I mean, all things considered, you can get them pretty cheap. Like $2,000 a
Yeah.
person for a week, and it's all you can drink and eat, and it's a balcony view kind of deal. You're not like in the bowels of the ship. Yep.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? To have a balcony, like, on the side of an ocean liner.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even mind going to, like, Alaska in that kind of condition. That'd be fun.
Oh, it would be fun. It's gorgeous. One day.
Yeah, they've got like a millionaires club, the ones that they take like a 3-week trip across the Atlantic and they go see like, the Mediterranean, over that area and then come back.
Oh,
And the people that are on there are just really unique individuals that are young enough that want to do it and rich enough to be able to do it. And those kind of people don't come from like, an IT background unless they like started some random,
internet company.
stamps.com company and they, so it's all these crazy people. I've always wanted to do one of those.
I saw one. I think it was 400K, and it was a
What?
280-day cruise. And
Wow.
it was the entire world. So you would like cruise from like New York over into Europe and the Mediterranean, down around Africa and Asia, and across like Australia and Hawaii and back up. And
Whoa. That would be crazy.
if I had the money, I would spend a year and just cruise the world.
That would be cool, right? Especially if you had like high-speed internet anyway, or at least good internet.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Had your own like an apartment style like what do they call those? Room, I guess.
Yeah, like a condo or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you have like, I mean, it'd be like living in a hotel for a year. You'd have, room service. You'd have the maid service. You'd have laundry service. So you just, it probably end up costing like $1 million once you like end up doing all your, excursions and going to different places and buying shit. And
That's extravagance that even rich people afford. Like rich people can't afford.
you got to be really rich. Like
You got to be really rich to be able to spend
probably in that
$1 million
like
on something.
20-30 million dollar range to pull that off. No 10 millionaires here.
Did you know Bill and Melinda Gates have given away more like money than the next 5 people combined in value?
I knew they'd given away a lot of it.
30 billion.
Jesus.
They've given away 30 billion. And he's still worth 86 billion.
So much cash. It's insane. I couldn't
It's an
imagine.
unfathomable number. Why doesn't Bill Gates just give like $5 billion to like NASA?
Maybe he doesn't like. Maybe that's not his deal. Like his deal is more
Why
like
not? He's got 86 billion. Keep a billion and start like just give 5 billion here, 5 billion there, 5 billion. Then just start fixing shit.
he
We've already talked about this before, but Elon Musk is trying to save the world with like 12 billion.
Did you see what he? Did you see his reaction when someone asked him about acquiring Uber?
Who?
Elon Musk. Someone asked him, was
Did
like,
he?
no,
Did
but
he acquire?
no, he someone asked him about it at some
Oh,
conference, and he was like, apparently there was like a 9 second pause. He ended up saying like, well, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Like this really cryptic response about maybe.
Yeah.
I read
He makes
something.
the electric cars. He makes like an Uber fleet of self-driving like Uber cars.
Mhm. Well, the CEO of Uber has already said like if Tesla makes 500,000 self-driving cars between now and 2020, Uber will buy every single one of them. Like eventually, Ubers are going to be all automated. Like it's going to be
I can
robots.
see a future where like the number of cars go down by like half. Like families won't even own a car.
No, they'll just have like a subscription service.
Yes.
You know, like 50
And
bucks
you'll
a
just
month or
like
100 bucks a month. You hit the button and it comes to you. Yeah, that's. There's been a lot of talk about that. Like people will what they'll do is they'll have centralized garages for all these things, and so like you call it and it just gets out of the
but it's
garage.
also a little different than that too, right? So me and you want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings at 8:30. So we hit the button, it shows up, right? 2 or 3 minutes later, we get in the
Mhm.
car, we go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and somebody at Buffalo Wild Wings wants to go home. So they get in
Exactly.
that car, and then they go home, and then somebody in that neighborhood wants to go to the bar, and they get in that car. It'll only be like 30, 45 minutes away, and the car is continuously in use. We won't have all of this downtime in our cars.
Right. There's a lot of people who
Right.
are saying that in the next 10 years, car ownership will basically go away.
Will it become a luxury thing where you own a car if you want and you still get to drive it around? Or where it's like, look, we don't have room for you to be shitty on the roads anymore. These automated cars are doing 100 miles an hour within a few feet of each other because they can interact with each other.
I
you know?
think, it's going to take a while for the cars to. It'll be a long time before people stop driving. Because, you buy a car now, you're not going to want to ditch it. And, so people are going to still drive. And I think on some level, people will always drive. Unless we get to the point where the roads aren't really made for cars anymore and there's some new mode of transportation, like a hover car thing that they need a special road to like float on or something.
Well, I could also see it coming to a point where, like, say Uber is the main form of, driving. So we have all of these, like, just modular, uniform cars driving around delivering people. And then private self-driving cars, right?
Yeah,
But they will be at the level of performance better than a Tesla is now. And those cars are 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, and they'll do 150. And if they're self-drove, and all the other cars are interacting with each other, so it's like I know I'm here, and you know you're there, and they're creating like a Wi-Fi network of, like a smart brain. The more cars that are in the system's even smarter, and they're calculating traffic because it's like they already know where they want to go, so they're all working with each other to get there. They could be just within a few feet. 5 wide on the freeway, even though there's only like 3 lanes. You could have the cars just a few inches from each other, moving and interacting, where it just won't have room for a self-driving car. It would be a human would be too much of a variable,
well, maybe
right? There's just not room for you. They could be doing 100 miles an hour, a couple inches from each
maybe there'll be certain
self-driving.
like lanes or air like
Right.
maybe all the interstates become self-driving, but you can still like drive yourself on state highways. That kind of idea.
Okay.
Basically make corridors for the self-drivers if self-driving cars are actually able to get to that level of sophistication, which I think they
should
probably
be
will
able
be.
to, right?
You would think.
Yeah, you would think.
You would think.
So
Oh,
this is the future talk, right, for
yeah,
the episode?
drink,
Yeah,
drink, drink,
Okay.
drink. But yeah, it'll be fun. Hopefully,
Did you see that automated self-plugging in thing that Tesla has for
Uh-huh.
the cars?
Like the Doctor
It looked
Octopus arm.
It did. It looked like a Dr. Octopus arm. That's exactly what I thought. And the video that I saw was from the internet, so it was already edited, and it had cheesy like 70s porn background music. And it was all like, I was like, oh, that's horrible, because it kind of does look like she opens up and then. I was like, that's so fucked up. The internet's hilarious.
Did you see the Lexus hoverboard?
Yes,
That was pretty sick.
it was kind of cool.
It's like
It was kind of cool.
now all that
idea
needs to happen is the Miami Marlins need to win the World Series, and almost all the predictions from Back to the Future will be true.
Yeah, except for the Jaws one, it ended up being Jurassic Park, not Jaws.
It's true. It's true.
I think it was funny. Yeah, what I thought was interesting about the hoverboard, so it's hovering, and it seems to have like forward momentum doesn't seem to be that big a deal for it, right? Like forward or backwards. But when he would ride it up the walls, it didn't seem to want to slide back down. It seemed to have an invisible edge. Like when he put it up against the wall, it wanted to seem to stay there. It didn't want to slide down the wall, even though there didn't seem to be any. I don't fucking know how that thing worked anyway. Because the only way I know how you could have that type of levitation would be using like superconductors and magnets above metal. Like you can suspend metal above a superconducted like supermagnet or whatever. There's like a magnetic field where it'll suspend at that like 2 or 3 inches range. And they can be so strong enough to support weight, but they seem to be doing it on concrete.
Maybe there's something inside like cement, or maybe there's just naturally occurring minerals that they can repulse off of.
Maybe it was a metal park, and I just couldn't tell off the film. Like, you know how some parks are covered in like a sheets of metal?
Yeah, maybe.
But you saw the other hoverboard system that came out like a year ago that Tony Hawk was on?
Yeah.
That one had to be on, you had to have it on copper or whatever it was. There was some brass or some type of material that it had to be on. That didn't seem to be the limitation to this hoverboard.
It didn't.
And they were riding it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like he was like, kind of bouncing on it. It never seemed to touch. The coolest scene though was the slow motion across the water.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Oh, that part was
I'll
awesome.
have to check it out again.
Yeah, the water was like, maybe an inch deep, but it's like 40 feet long, and he comes hauling ass, and then he's just going across the water. Homage to Back to the Future, of course.
Of course.
But he makes it all the way across.
They don't work on hoverboards. Don't work on water in Back to the Future.
That's a great movie.
Oh, it is a great movie. Love it.
Did you hear Robert Zemeckis or Zemeckis say his last name?
He's just like
Lost his mind. He was like, "Fuck you." He was like the way you feel about sequels. It's like, come up with something original, assholes.
He was like, I've already done 2 sequels. What more do you want?
Bummer. Yeah, yeah.
It's just, it was such a great movie, and I don't know how you could remake it.
Yes, right. Good call.
And what's the Marty McFly? What's his name?
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox. Like he's basically to the point where he can't act anymore because of his Parkinson's, and so
Right.
you couldn't have him in it in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Which would be a shame.
Which
would be a tragedy.
It would be, you just can't do it, and that's what the director says. Like, you can't do it without Marty McFly. If Marty McFly can't, do anything anymore, which is a shame because I loved him as an actor. I really thought he was good.
But we do have a small glimmer of hope that we're going to get some Back to the Future on the big screen soon. Did you see that Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One comes in 2017?
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Turn it off or skip the next 30 seconds. But for people who don't know, the main guy drives a Back to the Future DeLorean.
Well, the author
And at least one scene has got a Back to the Future DeLorean in it.
Yes, it does. Oh, and I'm really interested to see, because VR, we're getting really close to that consumer release.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm sure everyone remembers, because we talked about it incessantly on this podcast, like Ready Player One is all about virtual reality.
Right.
So drink. But it'll be interesting to see how much since the movie's basically coming out in, well, a little over 2 years, what's virtual reality going to look like compared to the vision in Ready Player One? Like, are we going to be at that level in 2 years already? Like, is this,
Not quite.
well, we could be
Close though, right?
close, or will virtual reality start looking completely different than what they thought it would be, you know?
Well, that's probably true. Human beings are pretty shitty at like really predicting it clearly. Like it's always something slightly different than we expected.
That's true. So I'm interested to see how that works. And
Did you see what Robert Klein when he did those Ask Me Anything on Reddit?
Uh,
He did an Ask Me Anything on Reddit, which was supposed to be about Armada, but it just turned into Ready Player One. Ask Me Anything, and they were asking him, how are you going to get all of these conflicting studios to let you use their stuff? And he's like, most of them are excited to let us use their stuff. Like most of them want this to happen as much as we want it to happen. He goes, I don't actually foresee having issues with any of it. So it's kind of cool.
it is cool. Hopefully they get. I've read some stuff online about they already have contingency plans. Like if certain things don't come forward, that they figure out a way to keep the story intact with using a different game. You know, so if they can't use like adventure, they figure out a way to use another game, or they can't use
Joust, they get to use Mario Brothers,
or something like
one.
if they can't use war games, they can use a different.
Right. Yes.
You know, because I mean, really, a lot of the titles are pretty superfluous to the story itself. It's just the titles for what they're using. You know.
Right, but the nostalgia in the titles are so...
Right, but you can get other nostalgic titles to use.
But War Games is...
Yeah.
It was very iconic, and it really did fit the role in the book that it should fit. Like, it really did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, they can do it, I think. I hope. And, I have a lot more faith in it now that Spielberg is helming it than I would have if anyone else was doing it.
Apparently, this is Spielberg's baby. Like, apparently, he really is like using some of his like industry clout to get this done.
Well, this is like most of Ready Player One is in his wheelhouse when he was really making movies in the '80s, and so that's pretty cool. How many great Spielberg movies were in the '80s?
Right, but he's like if like a studio's or something is having issues giving him the license, or the people talking to the studio, he goes and talks to them personally. Like, look, I want this, not just these people. Like me, I want to get this done.
Right.
So apparently that's really helping out with getting some of the harder stuff to get. I'm hoping the final battle is as epic as it was in my mind.
Yeah,
in my mind, it was like Coruscant on acid,
Okay, so here are, because we're talking about it, the Spielberg movies that he had a hand in, either director, producer, writer, or other in the 80s. Raiders, E.T., Poltergeist, Twilight Zone the movie, Gremlins, Temple of Doom, Fandango, which I've never heard of, Back to the Future, The Color Purple, Goonies, Young Sherlock Holmes, An American Tale, The Money Pit, Batteries Not Included, Empires of the Sun, Inner Space, 3 O'Clock High, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Land Before Time, Always, Back to the Future Part 2, Dad, don't know, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Yeah, that's just what he had his hands in on some level in the 80s.
It's off subject a little bit, but you mentioned Batteries Not Included.
Such a good movie. So funny.
God damn it. What a tear-jerking,
I know,
great,
right?
Just get up! Just get up! Come on! Just get up! We gotta go home. Yeah. Fuck that movie. It's a great movie, though.
Great movie. I need to pull that one out in like Short Circuit. That's another tearjerker.
Short Circuits. That's a great one, too.
Oh, I love those movies. But,
I didn't realize that he was so prolific. Holy crap, man.
Yeah, he's got all sorts of stuff. Like he's either was a writer, director, producer, executive producer, or something. Which I don't know how much like he actually like did stuff with like the executive producers, but still his name is attached to it in some way. He's got so many movies. Like here's the '90s for you: Arachnophobia, Back to the Future 2, Gremlins 2, Joe versus the Volcano, which is fucking terrible. Uh, A Wish for Wings That Work, I don't know. American Tail, Fievel Goes West, amazing. Love that movie. Cape Fear, Hook, Tiny Toons Adventures, Jurassic Park, obviously. Schindler's List, The Flintstones, Casper,
Yes.
Balto, Twister, Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Men in Black, Amistad, Saving Private Ryan, The Mask of Zorro, Deep Impact, Medal of Honor. Like, the dude has been in, like, a part of almost
Who's
every...
this?
Spielberg. Like, he's been in, like, a part of these movies.
This is still Spielberg?
Yes, this is all
Oh
Spielberg.
my god. That's not even possible. It's like every like major like that's every classic film.
Just about.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's so prolific. Like, that's why his name is so regarded in movies. Because even now, like, if I see Spielberg's name on something, I'm like, okay, this has a shot. This really has a shot. You know, it's not like Tim Burton. Because it used to be that way with Tim Burton, but now he just kind of sucks. So. He's deep in thought, ladies and gentlemen.
That's true. There was a time when like, Johnny Depp made a movie I was excited.
Or even just like
What?
Tim Burton, you know. If it was like Tim Burton, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to see it. And then you just start making crap movies. Like the new Alice in Wonderland that came out 5-6 years ago. So bad. So bad. Like, I don't know. For me, his style, everyone likes to shoehorn his style into
Horrible.
movies. And especially for something like Alice in Wonderland, you can't do it. Because Alice in Wonderland is super bright, but it's like it's got this super dark center that's candy coated in like neon whatever. Like the best Alice in Wonderland movie is probably Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, if you want to get down to it.
Is that what Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is? It's an Alice in Wonderland story?
Not really, but if you think about it, it's kind of similar. You know, like going down the
You can't. Did you know that Gene Wilder, the original Willy Wonka, the one who did such a great job, refused to watch the new one because he didn't want to lose respect for Johnny Depp?
Yeah, I lost a lot of respect for everybody in that movie. That movie was
Fuck,
terrible.
That movie was terrible.
Just make Halloween movies, Tim Burton, you'll be fine. Like the last movie he
guess.
made that was any
I don't even like
good
those.
was Corpse Bride. I really enjoyed Corpse Bride. Well, actually, no. Let's. Did he do Big Fish?
I think Corpse Bride was after Big Fish, though.
It was yeah, but it was Tim Burton. Like those kind of movies give me hope for him because it's such a different movie. Maybe you only had one of them in him, but Big Fish is a fantastic. If you haven't watched Big Fish, like you got to go watch it this weekend, like today. You know, whenever, just go watch it. It's super good. I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix.
Big Fish?
Yeah.
I saw it with you in the theaters.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Love that movie.
You did like that movie a lot.
I still love it. It's a great movie, great film. Ewan McGregor is fantastic in it. Everyone is just great in it.
I thought it was okay. You know the movie that I really liked that had that guy in, what was his name? Ewan McGregor? Is that what you called him? Didn't he do what?
Yeah, Ewan McGregor. What you
He
want?
did what was that movie Real Pretty with the girls that danced?
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
That's a Baz Luhrmann film. The guy
I
who did-
liked that one.
Oh, I do too. It's a fun one. Actually, I hadn't seen it. Like I'd seen it once in college, but I was distracted. So we ended up watching it probably about 6 months ago, and I just did not realize how good it was. It's gorgeous.
A good film, and it's gorgeous.
It looks so good on Blu-ray, like amazing on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet so.
Yeah, that's a great film.
And it's a good film. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's got some funny parts. The music's pretty good. The storyline's pretty good. You might cry a little bit. Like it has a little, it gets a little emotional. Like it's a good
twinge.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The that's probably Baz Luhrmann's best movie, in my opinion. You know, he's the guy who does the sunscreen song too. Did you know that
Oh,
connection was that same guy? It's like the
I
guy
know
who
that.
directed that movie is the guy who does the sunscreen song.
Wow.
Okay.
The things you learn.
Yeah, and he also did Romeo and Juliet in Australia, and I haven't seen The Great Gatsby, but I want to just because apparently it's just amazingly pretty.
Okay. Yeah, the
So
ones we've already talked about it, but the ones that are so pretty to me are the who is it? Wes Borland? Is that his name that does them?
yeah, he does
Like
some.
the Royal Tenenbaums and those kind of films, like Aqua Teen.
The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Is
Yeah,
what you're
Life
thinking of.
Aquatic. Yeah, that
Hmm.
one. They're just like each scene itself could be like you could print it out and put it in a frame and it would hang on your wall. Like every scene is pretty,
So you
like in an
ready?
artsy way.
You ready for? We're switch topics a little bit here, but still talk about watching things. So you ready for the Netflix of porn? Because it's coming. Actually, I think it's already here.
What's
Porn
that?
Pornhub has announced a $10 all you can binge porn subscription to their website, like ultra premium exclusive content. Yeah. So if you want, like, it's no not like back in the day it was like $50 a month for your
Have you
subscription.
ever paid for one of those high definition?
I've never paid for porn. I
Me
don't.
neither. I wonder if it's worth it. Like, is
I,
it?
I do kind of too. Like I wanted like a part of me wants to sign up just to see like they have that 7 day free trial. I'm
$10.
just like,
Mm.
maybe that would be fun. I don't know, but that's
Yeah, I
coming.
think it might be. I had a friend who did it. We were talking shit at work one day, and he was like, "I think I'm gonna take the plunge. I'm gonna do one of those HD ones. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." And then he comes back a few days later, and he finally admits to like, "Yeah, I got it. I got it." He's like, "There's things that you just didn't know you were missing." He's like, "You could see all kinds of things." He's like, "I don't know if I like it," but it
But
turns
it's
out that he never
interesting
got it.
with them is like Pornhub is like one of the first big free sites, right? So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually
Yeah.
convince people to pay for porn after they've spent an empire building free porn. Actually, something about that I want. So, uh,
But it's only usually like in 460p, which is really shitty. Like
right,
it's
but
really hard to enjoy that when you've got a big, nice 1080p screen and it comes up and it's all blurry. You're like, this really would be enjoyable if it was in 1080 or at least 720. Like, come on.
the
And a high bit
Pornhub
rate too,
is
not just 720 like low bit rate, but like a full blown pretty 720.
yeah, that's what they're doing. 1080p, like 60 frames a second.
Have you ever watched 60 frames a second
That's
porn?
gorgeous. Yeah.
It's so gorgeous. It's so smooth. I like it.
So I saw some stats. So Pornhub does 6 petabytes of data a day in terms of streaming.
Petabytes.
Yeah, 6,000 terabytes a day. Netflix is like 45,000 terabytes a day.
Really?
Yeah.
How much is Netflix of the internet?
Well,
Some people say it's like half the internet or something.
at times it can be. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Let's see. I'll look.
Didn't Blockbuster like have a chance to buy Netflix for like $6 million or something
Yep.
and pass it up?
35% of downstream internet during peak. A third of North American internet is Netflix during peak hours.
Damn. You know what? I'm really kind of disappointed that Blockbuster didn't do it because it would have been nice to have everything, right? The mail-in DVD subscription video game service where they'll mail you a game. But there for a while, Blockbuster had that where they would mail you a DVD, but you could also be like really impatient and take it to a Blockbuster
Uh huh.
and then get another film from them like in person that day. So if you had that plus Netflix's like internet version, so if all of it still existed, that would be awesome. That
Yeah,
would be
I
awesome.
actually had the Blockbuster like way back in the way back, but because I had Netflix for a while and it kind of sucked, so I went and got Blockbuster, and that was great because what I would do is because I would have three, I had the 3 out at a time subscription because I was alone and in a new city and everything else, so I would I would get the ones in the mail, which would generally be about either a season or half a season, depending on the show I was watching. I would go through them all, take them back, get the next three, and by the time I was done with those three, the next three were already in the mail at my door. So that's actually when I first started like binge watching television shows, was right out of college and doing it that way.
Yeah, I remember because I had Netflix and you had the Blockbuster, and I was at your house. Like, you're like, let's take these back and get some video games or something. And I was like, you can do that? And he's like, yeah, we can just go to the Blockbuster. I was like, oh, that's way better. It's like way 1,000 times better than Netflix. But it turned out that on-demand Netflix system turned out to be pretty cool.
Well, once they started getting good content, because it used to be their content was so bad.
Yeah, the only reason I ever enjoyed it at all in the very beginning is because they had Star Trek. They've had it from the beginning.
They have had it for a long time. And there's always a lot of anime on there, too.
Yes, that's true.
The anime's so cheap to get in terms of, like, rights and stuff.
There's so much of it, though.
There's so much. I wonder how much anime there is.
A lot. More than people have watched. I saw a great Vsauce video. You know what Vsauce is?
No.
It's a YouTube channel. They do amazing, like, 15-minute, like, short documentaries. You know, like, what's the loudest sound? And a guy describes, like, what would happen if you made, like, a 10,000 decibel noise. It would turn into a black hole the size of our solar system or something, you know, and it's just, like, and he does all the math, and, it's just, like, this crazy stuff, you know. But, wait, what was the original part about Vsauce? What were we just talking about before that?
Anime.
Oh, he does, what? Why was
we were talking about how much anime.
Oh, yeah, and then I was talking about how there's anime that people have never watched. Vsauce does a video where he talks about these videos on the internet that nobody's ever seen. And, like, how much of the internet nobody's looked at. Like, how much of YouTube has 0 views.
Mm-hmm.
It's really kind of crazy. And there's some of those videos that are great, heart-touching, like, great story, documentary-like videos that no one's ever seen. There's just too much content to be seen by everybody. It's really kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. And it's crazy what some people just make. Because there was a 1 minute long film competition for the International. Like, it's a short, so super short, 1 minute, 60-second movie that you can make and submit. And some of them, like, were really, really touching. You're like, oh, that's nice. Or, like, you get a little sad. It's a 60-second video. It tells this entire full story in 60 seconds. Some of them were really, really impressive.
Or get really pumped up. You're, like, ready to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't find a definitive number on how much anime there is. There is a ton.
Oh, let's just go with that. A big number.
Okay, how many Naruto
and if anybody wants a
seasons
fun anime
are there?
to watch, what?
How many Naruto seasons are there? Aren't there a ton? Like, isn't that one of the ones that's like super long?
Yeah, it is. It is.
What were you saying before I cut you off? Fun anime to watch?
Huh?
Fun anime to watch?
Inuyasha.
Inuyasha, yeah.
That's one of those films that has like 250 episodes, and every single one of them slightly more epic than the one before it.
Just get tired.
By the end, your mind is just melting every episode. You're like, I can only take one of these at a time.
You just get so tired of it. Just like, oh god, I can't take it anymore. That's why I quit.
And it's one of those, huh?
So I quit watching Arrow. Like, I really enjoyed it, but it was so sad all the time. I was like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of listening to you, you know?
This one isn't really, like, sad. It's just epic. Right? You know, like, they're going on, and it's, like, only, like, we're 3/4 of the way through the second season, and there's, like, 15 seasons. And it's already to the point where, I was like, it's over, right? Like, he's gonna kill the guy, and like, what's going on here? And she's like, just wait, it gets crazier next episode. And they go to the next episode, and you're like, what's going on? Like, the sword that seems to be the most important part of the whole show just gets broke, and you're like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, it's crazy. Really, really good though.
Did you have you seen the new Mad Max movie yet?
I need to.
You need to. It's really good. But it's one of those movies, like, at the end of it, you're just drained. Because it's 100 miles an hour the whole time. Like, there's just, like, I think there's one think there's maybe one scene when they're not actually like driving on a car. The entire thing is just a giant chase scene. By the end of it, I remember telling my wife, "It's like I'm tired. I'm worn out. Like physically tired. From watching this movie."
Was it good though? You recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. It's really fun. Like it's high energy the whole way. I mean, the plot's kind of thin, but whatever. It's a Mad Max movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'd highly recommend it. I was genuinely surprised with how good it was.
Okay.
It was much
Cool.
better than I thought it would be.
Cool. Have you seen any good movies lately? You know you're a movie buff here.
Yeah, nothing recently. I'm trying to figure out what we just have been cranking through Frasier, man. We're still on that kick.
Frasier.
Yeah. Love it, dude. It's
Weirdo.
hilarious
In a very subtle way.
in a very subtle way, but
It's like the wine drinking kind of humor.
yeah, kind of.
You feel like real smug about yourself when you get it.
Well, yes and no. There's some of it that is that way, but there's especially Niles, Frasier's brother, has got perfect comedic timing, especially for one-liners, where he just like Frasier will be doing something, and he'll just pop them real quick with this one-liner, just perfect. It's like you're sitting there like rolling on the floor, and it wasn't like anything outlandish. It was just this perfect little nugget of comedy that just works. I love. It's really good. I think
It's really weird. That whole show works off of that style of comedy.
right. And it's God, we're in season 7 now, I think. Like we've just been cranking through it.
And it relies on you like to get it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they don't
How many seasons are there?
11. So
Wow.
yeah, it's just one of those shows it really works, and they don't talk down to the audience. They don't like lead you to the punchline. They
Nope.
just say the joke, and if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you don't. Which I did, which I like.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's one of those like kind of test shows. Like you can ask people, "Do you like Frasier or not?" And they're like, "No, I didn't get it." And it's like, "Well, you're probably an idiot." You know what I mean? Like it's like news radio.
Oh yeah, I've only seen a couple episodes of that.
That's a really underrated show.
It is. It's like it's something that like Big Bang Theory, right? Which the first 2 or 3 seasons were kind of like Frasier. They just made the jokes, and now it's just become a stupid sitcom that they just like. I don't know.
I don't like it at all.
like the first 2 seasons really are really good when
The
it's
last
really
half
about
of the
nerdy
first
comedy.
season-
Yeah.
In the second season, they were great, but after that, it really starts to go downhill quick.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't like it. They didn't have any really where to go with it, and it just became gag jokes after gag. It just I don't know.
Yeah, I saw a listing. It was shows that have outgrown their premise, and there was like the #1 show that has outgrown its premise.
Yeah.
It probably should have been like a 4-season show, but it's the most watched show on television right now. Or
Yeah,
one
that
of them.
Sheldon dude's popular.
Oh yeah, big time.
And he's not even like the main guy, but it's weird that like he became the really kind of the star of the show.
Yeah, he's sort of the
Anti-hero.
he's the Jack Sparrow of the show.
Right.
So he's the id. He's the guy who just they bounce. He's the comedic center kind of thing that they.
Hmm.
He's the reason why weird things happen because he's crazy.
He is crazy in the show. They've made him. And I like his parents being the over-religious Texas. I was like, that kind of hits close to home.
Oh, that'd do. I don't mind. They do portray Texas kind of bad, which upsets me, but whatever.
It's pretty close, though. There's a reason they portray it that way.
Well, especially East Texas, because I used to live out.
Stereotypes exist for a reason.
Yeah, I used to live out in East Texas. I know a little bit.
Yeah. I live close enough to it. I'm right near 59, and there's something magical about 59. You get on the other side of it. Fuck, it's East Texas, like almost instantly.
It's true. It's true.
It's really weird.
But hey, we would both move to Austin if we could, probably.
Yeah, Austin's beautiful. Oh, yeah, speaking of which, I think the family's moving.
To Austin?
Meridian.
Meridian. Where the fuck?
Murden. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's a little north of Waco, a little south of Fort Worth.
Oh, yeah, man, it might be.
near where like George Bush like ranch and stuff's kind of at.
Let's see, how far is it to Waco?
But I guess that means you can guess what that is happening here then.
Oh yeah, you mentioned the other day that they were selling
Yep.
things.
They're trying to, like, it's all happening.
Huh? You're about an hour from Waco in Meridian.
Mm-hmm.
God, everyone I know is moving to that part of the world.
Yeah? Are you moving to Dallas, I heard?
There's a chance.
Should make that happen.
I got a couple things kind of floating around right now. There's just a lot floating on. I have two possibilities in Seattle right now, which that would be fun. Um, my parents just moved to Austin. My older brother's in Waco.
Yeah, right now is the time to move to Seattle.
Oh yeah, and I would love it,
I
especially
thought he was
because
here.
who? Jason's in
Yeah.
Waco.
Oh.
Yeah,
Steven's here, though, in Houston.
Steven's in Houston.
Waits like a savage.
Yeah, yep.
Ripping muscles and shit. Crazy kid.
So yeah, that's So we'll see what happens. I actually have a small possibility with a professional sports team in Seattle, so that'd be kind of fun. Working in their
Be
research analytics team.
If you could move to Seattle, because global warming's taking effect and all of those cloudy, like, Seattle winters, it didn't happen last year. And there's a real strong possibility that it won't happen again this year. Like, you just could be moving into a time where that could be the next place to live, like, period. It's the next California.
Yeah, there's other company up there. If I get the job where they are, I'll be able to not have a car. Like we'll be able to sell one car, and I'll just like walk through downtown every day to get to work.
With them selling the property like they're doing and with certain things moving and shaking like they are, I also might be in that position where me and my wife might end up sharing the car and I might start working from home.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Working from home is interesting.
It wouldn't really be from home. It would be from the shed in the backyard,
That's how you do it then.
which is slightly different.
Well, it is. It's really good to have an office area. Like, that is, okay, you shut the door and you don't think about work anymore. Because if work is always out there in front of you, you're always going to be like tempted to check your work email and all that stuff. And it can be tough. It can be really tough.
That and also what I'm doing, I don't want kids running around going, ah, that kind of stuff either, and
Yeah.
coming in and asking me questions. It's like, look, for the next 6 hours, I'm busy.
I'm going to work.
Yeah.
That's something like I had to deal with, like my wife is when I was working from home for the Red Cross, that she would like, hey, can you go grab this from the store, that from the store? It's like, baby, I'm working. And so it took her a while to get used to,
I'm actually working.
Actually working.
I wouldn't be here otherwise, so
Right.
get used to that, yeah.
Good times, good times.
So you want to get my recommends out of the way?
Yeah, let's get your recommends that way, and that should get us right to where we want to be. So let's recommend it and then roll the show up.
So phones nowadays have this technology where you can like have a mirror image of what's on your phone on another device,
Right.
right? Which is called like mirrorcast or screencasting or whatever, right?
Mhm.
It's pretty cool, except it's very hard on your phone. It must require the phone to do the processing power, like, right? Because your phone is watching Twitch and then sending it to the device that's plugged into your TV. So phones' batteries drain very quickly and they get very hot while doing this. But if you use a Google Chromecast, which is $35, it works on a slightly different system somehow. So the Google Chromecast isn't connected to your phone per se. It's connected to your Wi-Fi, which your phone is also connected to. And through that, they talk to each other on a network. But if, say, you're watching like Twitch and you hit the Chromecast button, all of the work gets like sent to the Chromecast itself.
Yeah,
So the
it forwards
Chromecast starts
it,
downloading the information from the internet, and then does all of the calculating, translating stuff, where it turns it into an image and puts it under your TV. So your phone just becomes like a controller. right? Like an app controller for the Chromecast. It's fucking awesome. It's way cooler than a Roku, in my opinion. I don't know if it's true, but I never really owned a Roku, but it's up there with that kind of cool.
It's really cool. It's cheaper because I have both.
Oh, you do have both?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Chromecast. The shit, ain't it? Back me up on this.
Oh, it's really cool. The Roku has more functionality, more apps,
Okay.
but and it does, it doesn't tie up the device, like your own device as much as,
See, but I find that the Chromecast doesn't even tie my device up because I can turn it off and the Chromecast keeps working.
in general, yeah, it's awesome and it's cheap. You can get them, like you can find them for like on sale for $20, $25 if you really look.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because full retail's only 35.
Right. They're if you're looking for a way to get a connected TV, it's one of the better ways to do it.
It really is cool. I really recommend
Maybe
it. So that's
maybe the way to do it is if you're because Amazon Prime 35.95, $36, be here in 2 days kind of deal. Yeah, they're really cool. So did you just pick one up like this week, or you want your friends or something?
Well, week and a half ago.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they're great. I love them.
They're really good, and the picture quality is very high.
It is. I mean, especially since you have a decent computer, I like to use it off my PC over my phone because you get a higher quality picture.
That's off your PC?
Yeah, there's a add-in for Chrome,
Wow.
and you just hit like you can use on Netflix. You like, send a Chromecast and just poof.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's how we did it when we just ran it off like our laptop.
Cool.
And
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, so that's what I would recommend doing with it because you do get a better stream on the computer.
Oh.
And seeing that I used to use it to run my Plex server, just for funsies, this may never come out, but if you're using local files, like if you're have local video files, Chromecast it can really only be 3 gigs per hour of video. Like anything bigger, the Chromecast won't stream it well. So even though most video is well underneath that, just letting you know. So if you want to really like one point there's 6 gig Game of Thrones episode, super high quality, but it wasn't worth it. It just didn't work. But so you can have 1 gig 20-minute episode, it'd be fine. So that Go get a Chromecast. Yeah, they're really cool. You can also use them on your iPad and Android devices and all that stuff too.
That was the part that I thought was cool is that my iPad worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have to download anything to my iPad. It's just already built into your apps.
Okay. I thought that was a Chromecast app. Maybe that's just to run it. Maybe that's just to manage the Chromecast.
That's just to manage it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
You don't have to download that on all your devices. Mm-mm.
That's nice. Yeah, it's a cool
Very
thing.
cool. And it's so seamless. That was the part that was so easy. It's it didn't take anything to set up, and it takes even less to use.
Just click a button.
Anybody that's on my Wi-Fi, if you're watching Netflix, it's apparently just built into the Netflix app because my mom, once I had it set up, she could instantly just start using it.
Right.
I was like, you see that little button there? I was like, just click on it, see what happens. She clicks on it, it says, use device, bedroom. And I was like, oh, click on that. And she clicks on it and started working. I was like, no shit. You didn't even have to do anything. It just was automatic. Just seamless integration.
I would assume that you can use multiple Chromecasts on one Wi-Fi network, but I've never tried it.
You can.
Okay, cool.
You
just
label
pick,
each Chromecast. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I'm one of those people who might completely just sell my soul to Google. There's a part of you that wants to resist, when it's accept these terms and conditions, it gets to read all your text messages. It's I don't think I want anybody reading it. But in reality, there's so many of those, nobody's actually probably ever going to read it. But if you do say yes, it recommends, it just makes it starts to become so simple. Your life starts to become so easy. It's I don't know if I like this because it is awesome. It really will start recommending, I don't know how to explain it, but the advertisements start to become very personal.
They data mine.
You don't
they data mine
your
you run algorithms that look for words and sentences and stuff. That's what they do when they're reading your text messages. They just run algorithms through them.
Right, to find that we're talking about airsoft. So next thing it knows, it's airsoft's popping up, or it knows that I'm talking about Twitch, and it's recommending. It's kind of cool to
It
let
is.
them do that. To let them send the information from using your maps and your navigation, because then it learned where my work was, it learned where home was, it learned all of this stuff, and then it starts recommending different things. And
And alternate routes, and
man, it's kind of creepy, but it's also kind of
it's kind of
very
creepy.
convenient.
It is.
Very,
You just gotta be okay with someone who can actually run in and read your emails and search history and everything else.
it's weird I'll let Google do it, but I don't want the government to.
Right?
But I don't think that Google wants to put me in a cage. They just want to sell me stuff.
They just want to sell you stuff. That's true.
Right.
Well, and it's a good recommend. I would highly recommend a Chromecast.
Yeah.
If you want to spend a little bit more money, go get a Roku. Uh, I like having
Which are awesome.
I like having the actual remote for the Roku. That's the one difference. I actually like having the remote instead of like using my phone. But yeah. Well, another nice thing about the Roku is if you buy the high-end one, the remote has an audio jack in it, so you can plug in like headphones and it'll stream audio into your headphones. And there's no delay. It's not like
That's
it's really nice. Like that's
so,
that's
so the wife can sleep.
right. If you want to watch it in the bed, you can just plug it in and it's seamless. So, there isn't any delay between the words on the screen and in your ears. It's perfect.
That is awesome. That is cool.
That's one of my favorite features with it. And plus all the apps, like there's like 800 or 1,000 different channels you can download on Twitch or on Twitch on Roku.
Yeah, right. Twitch is one of those.
Twitch is one of them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, I just upgraded my gaming PC to
Did
Windows
you?
10. Yeah, I just got Windows 10 last night.
Oh, an early adopter.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Well, it's the official release
Yeah,
came
I
out this
know,
week.
but everybody usually gives it 2 or 3 months to see what
Yeah, I dig it.
miserable
It's
bug
nice
burn.
having the Windows 10 apps, so there'll be like nice full screen video, especially because because my Roku is downstairs, so I don't have it hooked up to the computer here. But there's now a couple apps that I can actually like use instead of just pulling it up on Chrome and hit and go. It's kind of thing. That's how I've haven't been doing it for
I
some
was
websites.
I don't know why it took them so long to put apps on our computers.
Well, they've been doing
Like
it for a couple of years, as everyone hated Windows 8.
Right, but they didn't do it right. Like it needs to be like I don't know,
The
like
new-
on my phone. It needs to be like a Facebook app.
Right. The new Windows 10 apps are really nice because they'll go full screen seamlessly, but but you can shrink them, you can stretch them. So if you want to have a couple of them going at the same time, it's easy. You can just X them out, but they also work like a tablet does. You just, open them up and they go poof, full screen. And they look gorgeous. So yeah, I really enjoy it. What they're doing with their translation software is insane, and I really hope it works.
So Windows 10's a win.
Windows 10 is a win. I believe that. I really think it's a win.
Wait, what?
What? Wait,
What about their translation software?
their translation software? So what they're doing is they're building software that will translate apps into Windows code. So you can like drop an iOS app into the translator software and it'll spit out a Windows app. So that's pretty solid. And also they have universal apps, so you can build one Windows app that'll work on PC, tablet, and phone all at the same time with no code change. It's huge. It's insane what they're doing.
How exciting will it be from 5 years from now when they got the reverse technology of that, where you can take a Windows app and you can drop it into an iPhone like simulator, and it'll spit out the iPhone app. So we take an iPhone app and we put it into the Windows one, and then we take the spit out Windows version, we put it back into the translator, and we just keep going back and forth until we like evolve some new application that the computer just because all the little bits and pieces get mixed up and messed up just a little bit at a time. We could end up like creating artificial intelligence like
And
that.
the big thing that Microsoft has done with their translation software is they've made it open source,
Wow.
which is something Microsoft hasn't really done in the past. But they're starting to open source a lot of stuff, really getting the community involved. Really
Yeah,
good
they do
on
seem
that.
like they're kind of coming around to the future version of the internet.
They really are. They really are. Their new CEO, who's been there for a couple of years now, is doing a really good job. Really good job.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's about it. That is 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 38 seconds and counting. So we're right on the number. So thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to the 42 podcast.
Hey.
Have a good night or afternoon or whenever you decide to listen to this, whatever the next time period is, have a good one of those. A lot more low key than Comic-Con is, I guess, like San Diego Comic-Con. But if you want to play games, Magic, D&D, Pathfinder, board games, you can play 24/7 for the entire weekend. Like, they never close down the gaming hall. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but at one point they had like 15,000 people playing Magic. It was nuts.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah, there's like
tons of people.
100,000 people there, I think.
Wow,
But
that's a big number.
It is a big number, but since they had the convention floor and the gaming floor, it's the people are spread out, so you're not nearly as cramped as you are because you'll have like 10,000 people just playing D&D all day and whatever. So
That's insane. That sounds fun though.
yeah,
That sounds like.
it was a lot of fun. There's some pretty good cosplay.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Any cool cosplay?
Yeah, it was obviously much more like fantasy gaming related since it's that kind of con, but still some
Right.
pretty good ones. Some good Harley Quinns, which I'm guessing we're going to be seeing a lot more now that the movie's coming out next year. Or is it this
Nothing
year?
wrong with that.
Yeah, no, just saying.
She's a hot bad guy.
Yeah, she's crazy.
She's more of that cute high school punk cheerleader kind of style than she is like the 40-year-old succubus style of villain. You know what I mean? Like they normally have the girl villain be like 35, a little older and more mature and kind of
Just
wiser
wrecking dudes.
yeah. But this one, she's like 20 and got like pigtails in her hair and wears mini skirts and shoots Uzis.
Yeah.
That's kind of hot.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just
know. Like I know a little bit about the Harley Quinn that they built in the comics from the animated series, and I don't know how much that's going to play in because
In how Cars is in the future after Wall-E, where the robots have become sentient, and yeah,
that was pretty cool. Someone spent way too much time.
it works.
Like,
They're really trying hard though. It felt like a stretch, some of it.
Well, I think for a lot of these papers, they're like, dissertations and master's thesis for like anthropology classes. So they study
What?
you could do it as an anthropology study of how pop culture fits into other culture and how those things interact with each other.
Oh,
So
no wonder they're so detailed and
yeah, good.
whatever.
Oh man, the International 5 finals was yesterday. So
It was
sick.
epic, huh?
Oh yeah, EG.
So I was watching it,
Okay.
and I have an issue. Like, the reason it won't ever take over as football
Uh-huh.
is it's way too complicated to understand. It's like, what is a Duragmoroth? What is the Shigon? There's all these things. If they pick up the Shigon, everybody's gonna get. It's like, what is that? I know it's an item, and I know he's buying it, but it's too based on you already knowing what the fuck they're talking about.
See, I wish you had texted me because they actually have a separate new person stream. It's dedicated just to new people who want to learn what's going on.
Oh.
So they have that. I bet you I could
They need to
find
do
that YouTube and send it to you.
I think they need to recognize them. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I tried to watch it. Everybody cheered, so I knew shit was happening. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's dying. And then the announcer's yelling, he's got the Zeus. What is everybody gonna do? No one's ever gone with the Zeus. And I'm like, what are they? I don't know what he's talking about. I'm so confused.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. EG won, so go USA. First time an American team has won the international, and one of the few times an American team has won a major LAN in general. So they're going home with 6.6 million for the team, 1.34 per player. So it is pretty.
okay money.
That's okay money. I mean, granted, they do have to give some of them to the team. I think the team takes like 10%, but still, it's good money.
What was the overall purse? Like 18 million?
18, yeah.
We were trying to guess last. What was our guesses?
I was thinking it was going to hit 20, but
Right. Okay. It was close. It was like 18.7 or something, or 18.2 or something.
yeah, but what I was expecting them to do is because they have all these goals for the compendium. Like, okay, if we hit $15 million, we're going to give everybody this. If we hit $14 million, we're going to give everybody this. And I was really expecting them because their last stretch goal was 15 million. I was really expecting them to roll out another $5 million worth of stretch goals. And if they had they probably would have hit the 20, but they didn't. So they just kind of ticked up from the 15. So.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Right.
I got a lot. I got a ton of new sets the last couple of months. So many new sets and other things that are gonna be cool. And I got this really awesome Dead Mouse pack. There's this like nice Dead Mouse soundtrack while you're playing the game and stuff. It's really cool.
Okay. That is cool.
Yeah, it's really well done, so it's not overpowering. So like you really only hear it like during the fight. So if the fights are getting epic, it gets a little bit louder and gets the blood pumping a little bit more. It's really. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 42 podcast. I hope you didn't miss us too much on our week off, but we are back from the restaurant at the end of the universe to talk about the failings of the late great human race. And as always, to my left, your good friend and mine, Mr. Ryan.
That's me.
I guess it is. Yeah, I guess it's to the right of the screen.
How are you?
Anyway, I'm good. How are you doing? Enjoy your week off last weekend?
I did a lot.
Do anything fun or just
no?
No, just didn't do shit.
Actually, my dad had his birthday party and he turned like some big number. I don't know what it was. I should turn that off. My apologies. But it was a good time. He fried shrimp and made hamburgers and hot dogs.
Nice. That sounds good.
And I don't know what it is about men when they make it into like they're like close to like 50, 50 to like 60. They just can fucking burn meat like badasses. Like it's just apparently like you get this like, from 45 on, you can just barbecue like a boss.
Well, they've been doing it for a while, That's one
thing.
Is
that what
it is? That's one of the things like I am not great. Like I can grill okay, but I don't do it enough to like really be proficient at it, which is probably a failing as me as a man or something. I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever grilled by myself intentionally. Like I think I'm gonna burn some steak. I've never done that.
But yeah, we went to Gen Con last weekend, which was a lot of fun. It's all originally in the comics. She is Joker's therapist at Arkham. And he corrupts her, and that's why it's like full on like hardcore Stockholm syndrome kind of thing with her and him. Like she's so fascinated by his evilness that she just like becomes evil herself to like be with him.
Have we talked about it before? But that whole argument about how the Joker was the actual hero of the Dark Knight.
No, I haven't heard that one.
You never heard that he's actually the Dark Knight? It's not Batman is not the Dark Knight. It's actually the Joker.
Okay.
He's the one who achieves everything that was essentially Batman's goal, overall arcing goal in the movie. Like Batman's trying to take down the mob, but Batman can't do the few things that need to be done to get it taken care of. And Joker is proving to Batman that you can't do it Batman's way. That you have to be willing to, it has to be full crazy, right? And what the Joker does is he burns all of their money, he takes their bank down, he kills them, he breaks the whole mob ring up and he gets them all killed. Like, he was actually the one who saves Gotham.
Right. That makes sense.
The one who breaks up the mob.
I can see that.
Yeah, he was the Dark Knight. It's cool. I mean, I'm not doing the article justice. Some You know how they are. Some asshole goes through and reads, writes an article. It's all detailed perfectly with like flow charts and graphs and shit. It's like, oh yeah,
Someone spent way too much time.
you convinced me wholeheartedly. I think with this type of technique, I could believe anything you say.
Yeah, did you ever see the Pixar theory about how they're all in one universe? Like every movie in Pixar is in the same universe.
Yeah, and they try to tie